Let's see what Zach's up to in here. We got the Hockenheim on the bench. Zach, what are you doing?
Hey, what's going on? So I'm just getting everything gathered up so we can get this S1000 back under its own power.
Yes.
As you can see, it's been chain free for a little bit, so real nice and easy to roll around the shop.
Yeah.
But does not drive so well.
Right.
So we're gonna get an awesome EK 3D chain on it. Our favorite chain, we've had great luck with them. 0 failures. My customer that runs HP4 Race, we put one on his bike. Lasted twice as long as the chain that came on it already.
Nice.
Oh, looks like we got solid gold.
Solid gold, it's beautiful.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
So that'll add a little bit more bling too to the already very blingy rear end of our motorcycle.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome. We got the TWM chain adjusters back there.
Yep.
The Brembo underslung caliper. Moved our weight around, makes it easier to change the tires. We got the full 6 belly pan back on.
Oh yeah.
Fits just amazingly with the stock exhaust.
It does.
We did all the break-in miles with this belly pan on. And you can see there's no blistering or hot spots here. Let's put it up in the air so we get a better look. Okay. Watch your ears. Oh, that's not so bad.
No.
As long as the compressor doesn't kick on.
Yeah.
You can see though, no blisters or anything. I mean, it doesn't have 1,000,000 miles on it, but it's got 430 miles.
Yes.
And sometimes if it fits too close, you might have issues, you know?
Yeah.
Not saying there wouldn't be if you rode it longer, because that muffler has to get so hot back there.
Yes.
But it is cool that it fits with it. Got to clean the chain up. You see it comes with a ton of lube on it.
Yes.
That's great for keeping it from rusting and stuff, but if we were to just pop this on the bike, it'd be flinging everywhere. So we use my favorite Honda chain cleaner as always, and just degrease it a bit, and then we'll re-lube it up once we install it. Okay, so while you were away, or maybe in the last video, I don't remember, we got all the chain gunk cleaned out of here, so it's nice and clean. We got this chain all shine polished up. Look at that thing, that's gonna look great.
That's gorgeous.
Something we were just talking about, you can, on this motorcycle, buy the next size bigger chain, which I believe is 160 links, and you could cut it down. I don't know what you'd cut it to, but it'll move your axle back farther. Once we get this chain installed, you're gonna see that we're gonna be probably at about that 0 mark. Because the 120 is like the smallest chain you could put on it. But unfortunately, the next size up is like 160 links. It costs like $50 more. But you could then cut it longer and have your axle back a little bit farther, you know?
Yeah.
Got to find the master link hiding in here somewhere. There it is. That's an important part. We're going to grab our front sprocket. We're using the Alpha Racing 520 front sprocket. And this is something that we haven't done before, so I'm actually probably going to check it. They had to run this collar on the 520 because it matched their rear sprocket on the stock wheel. Hopefully that still works with this setup. So we are going to take just a minute here to confirm that this is all right, actually.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is get the front sprocket on, and then I got a laser. We're just going to have to pull this chain guard. We put a laser, and we're going to make sure that it lines up right in the center of the sprocket. Otherwise, we might have a sprocket issue that would cause funny wear or something.
Sure.
I always like to use a new lock ring, especially because I just have them right over in the parts department. Far from the end of the world if you have to reuse it, because this is what gets bent over the nut at the end to keep it from spinning loose.
Okay.
This was our old one over here, so you could see if we had to bend it, it would probably bend up one more time and be okay, but since we have a new one, I want to use that, and I like to put a little bit of Loctite on it, blue, red, whatever. We don't want this nut coming loose, you know?
Right.
All right, so now you can see if you stand back here, now that we have our axle tight, and you shine right on that front sprocket there, Eve.
Ah, yes.
You might stand where I'm at. You get a good view of the actual laser itself. You see it?
Yeah.
Zoom in there. We're almost dead center on that front sprocket, and that's where we'd want to be.
Yep.
So I think we're safe to run it. Let's get the chain installed. You've seen us do that a million times.
Yes.
So we'll be back, and since we got so much niceness going on back here, I think we got to do something in the front.
Yes.
So we'll be back with that. All right, so I got the master link on our chain. It's riveted in place. We've shown that a bunch of times. Now we can show you our slick chain adjusters. Let's bring that out to about number 5 there. Do the same thing on this side. And you can see our chain tightens right up.
Oh, yeah.
Where if we had a longer chain, we'd be able to bring this back to 30 or 35, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have to look into that. So we're a little bit tight here, but the chain is going to stretch right away. This is what's cool though too. So now if you listen, I'm going to put this in 2 clicks. There's 2 little clicks there, and now I can just come over here and I can do 2 clicks. And now I know my axle's straight.
Outstanding.
And we're starting to get there. I'm going to take one more, probably another 2 clicks. All right, we're gonna put one back in.
Okay.
And we're gonna call that good, because when I tighten up the axle, it's probably gonna tighten up a bit all on its own. Also like to just shove a rag in between there, and that's gonna pull our axle nice and tight. Even though it does fit pretty tightly in these chain adjusters, it's almost not necessary. And then we just torque up our rear axle to the 100 Newton meters specified on our chain adjuster.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yep.
After about a good 15-mile ride, we'll have to readjust that. It'll be too loose.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna wipe it down one more time with the rag and spray some of the chain lube on it. So now that we have our chain on, I can stick the motorcycle in gear, and that's enough to hold the front sprocket torque of 125 Newton meters. We're just gonna bend the tabs over on our little washer and reinstall our cover. And then we're onto the front of the bike. Cool tool alert. So I just got myself a nice tool from Pitbull. We just became a dealer.
Nice.
Thanks, Pitbull. So this little guy here clips on either your front stand or your rear stand. I believe it's made mainly for the rear. Now I can just spin this up, and it's gonna come up and be like a third hand for me and support the wheel. Oh. And watch this. If you look right now, it's hard to tell. There's a fair amount of drag on the ratchet. As soon as I get this guy up in here, take a little bit of pressure off, there's absolutely zero drag on the ratchet.
Oh yeah, I see that now.
And it spins right out, and I can pull the axle right out without moving the wheel around or anything. I just get it off this spacer, lower it down just a hair, because we're up in the fender, and I can roll the wheel right out.
That's amazing.
So it's just a nice, cool little helping hand setup.
Pitbull
Like
products.
so let's see what our complete stock wheel setup weighs. Bouncing postage scale says, give that 24. Right, we're on the north side of 23, so let's call that 24.
Yep.
And this is running the Metzler Race Tech RR tire.
Yep.
We don't know what they weigh, but we do have an unmounted Pirelli. Our rear was like 15 pounds of rubber. Our front, you're gonna have to take a look. I'll just balance it.
Okay.
About 10?
Almost, Mr. Zack. It is 9.5, exactly.
9.5? All right. So 9.5 pounds of rubber on our front wheel. Our wheel with no rotor, but rotor bolts. I mean, this is light.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Coming in at 6. 2 pounds lighter than the rear wheel. So we got our calipers torqued. Let's get the axle. Let's get everything nice and seated. And now we can do our pinch bolts. All right. We are installed. What do you guys think?
I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks great, right?
Yeah. It's time for us to roll out of here and head to a car show. But I'm on the S1000RR, putting more miles on it since the master mechanic Zack removed the rev limiter and did some other cool things to the bike. And now it's somewhat faster. Still needs a Brent tuning ECU flash, which we're going to get here later in the month of July, and that's going to be fantastic. I got to ride Steve's bike that has the Brent tuning current flash on it, aero exhaust and everything, and I put the smackdown on many people. So I know that this bike will be able to do just the same once my good buddy Brendan puts his fairy dust sprinkles onto this machine. It's going to be awesome. But today I'm wearing some new Alpine Stars gloves and riding shoes. They look amazing. They match great. They're very comfortable, and they offer a tremendous amount of protection. But this exhaust is still way too quiet. So we're pulling up to the car show, and for those of you that are new to my channel and don't know how I got the name 650 Ebe, my name is Ebe, spelled I-B, and I used to have a vehicle very similar to that one, although it was a 2008 BMW 650i, and someone, a little mischievous bastard, put a magnetic B onto the back of the vehicle, thus making it the 650e Mobile. And so I just started using that name for all of my social media. That was a long time ago. Many of you were in diapers when that happened, but that's how I got the name 650e. Lots of people showing up for this car show. Lots of us are on bikes. Probably should have brought out the C8 Corvette, but I decided to ride a motorcycle today. Well, since we're stuck in traffic, maybe you could take a look at Vic's custom created. He made it himself. Clear clutch cover for his S1000RR, and it looks magnificent, especially when the clutch is in use. As you can see it spin about. I like it. I like it. So Steve is trying to do SmackDowns now. I knew it would only be a matter of time before he's into the mix of trying to do SmackDowns. So that right there, folks, is a father and son duo. That young man on the S1000RR is the son of this guy here on this beautiful M109 Suzuki Cruiser. And I used to ride with this guy way back in the day, 20-something years ago. He never wore a helmet then. He still doesn't wear a helmet now. This guy's amazing. And so is his young son. It's great to see father and son riding together on the filthy streets. So there's the skyline of Cleveland again. And I put a bunch of miles on the S1000RR with its Rotobox Bullet wheels, 520 chain and sprockets, and the bike runs great, but it still has a crazy flat spot that robs power that my good buddy Brendan from Bren Tuning will correct once I take this bike to his corporate headquarters in Boston, Massachusetts on July 24th. So if you're in the area, stop by, say hi, we'll be there. We'll have a meetup from 4 till 6. We'd love to see you there. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap that bell and you'll get notified when new content is uploaded. We're going to take a brief rest here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the pier. See what's going on down here. We don't have any fear. I've never drank beer. There you go. That door's open. Pretty dangerous. No lights on it. Good job, buddy. Thanks for viewing the video, guys. We'll catch you next time on the 650 EV YouTube channel.